Everybody wants to skip straight to the money. And let's be honest, it's always the first question that everybody asks. It's like, okay, if I can make a lot of money, hell yeah, count me in. But let me tell you about the part that most people conveniently ignore. The grunt in the beginning. GRUNT. It is grunt work when you first start doing this type of work. So let me explain to you exact process and how this works. So we're going to break it down from the beginning, and we're going to work our way all the way down to give you a little few tips to let you know exactly what to expect if this is what you're planning to do with your life. So, first you're going to have to get you some vendors. All right. That's to a lot of people is the easy part of the job, but to a lot of people it's not. People find it hard work finding actual companies that they can work for. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the heavy lifting. They want somebody else to lift all the heavy load for them, but you're going to have to do some heavy lifting if you are going to find you the right companies. And at first you may have to pick and choose between companies, but that is okay as long as you finally get yourself settled in a company that you know that you can work hard with, a company that you know is going to provide you enough income for you to provide for you and your family. So then next, after you actually get all of that taken care of, now you're going to have to learn the portals. Every company has their own portals. They have their own systems that you will have to learn how to work. You're going to have to learn how you're going to sign in. You're going to go through a whole type of process of learning what they do and how they want their work done. Every company has their own set of rules. Everybody has their own set of regulations. Every company has particular times that they may have set for when you have to turn in an actual inspection. So don't think that all companies are the same and that they all have the same timelines, because they do not. One company may give you all month to turn in inspections, and you have another one that may want you to turn them in 3 days. It all depends on the company themselves. So please don't get that twisted. You will have different rules based off the companies that you sign contracts for. And then you're going to have to actually understand the types of inspections. What types of inspections will you be having to do? Learning the process and how they work, and what pictures you need to take, and what questions you need to ask, what things you need to be observant of when you go to these locations based off of the inspections. Are they basic insurance inspections? Are they exterior inspections? Are they interior inspections? Are you setting appointments? Are they homes? Are you doing REOs? Are you doing any other type of commercial inspections? All of them require different types of things. It's not hard, but it is a learning process. And you will fumble a couple of times when you first get started, but that is okay, because as we fumble, we learn, and then we move on. I always like to say that. We fumble, we learn, and then we move on. The next thing you're going to have to do is figure out your territory. Where are you actually going to be working? Most companies will ask you, what areas do you like to work? What areas do you cover? Do you know? Get it together if you don't. Because if you don't, they will send you to locations that you do not want to go. They will have you traveling all around the world when that was never your intent. And is the money going to amount for how far you travel? Make sure you get it right. Learn your territory so that you know exactly where you're going. Get familiar with areas. But some of you may not even ride around at all. Some of you may not even know what areas you even actually are close to, because you've been working a 9 to 5 so long. You just go to those locations. You go to work, you come home. You may know where the mall is, your favorite restaurant, blah, 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 where you go to church on Sunday, and that is it. So learn your areas, get familiar with them. That way you'll know which area you can be like, oh, hell no, I'm not going over there. But you get what I'm saying. Learn your territories. Every company has turnaround times. And I think I've mentioned that before, but I'm going to mention it now because a lot of people need to hear this. And all of you in the back, please make sure that you're paying attention. All companies have different turnaround times. Once again, you may work for a company that wants you to turn it in 3 days. You got 3 days to get it done. Then you have some that may want it done in 5 days, 7 days, 30 days. You have some that just give you rush orders all the time that somebody else was doing and couldn't finish. And now this file has been behind 90 days already. So guess what? They want that as quick as possible. Get familiar with your companies, but also recognize from the start that there's a possibility that you will be facing this type of stuff. Don't worry about it. You get used to it, but it all depends on what type of company you're working for. If you sign up for a company and this company is giving you work that is requiring you to turn it around within the next day or two, and you know that you have other things going on with your life, I'm not going to say field inspection is not for you, because that's clearly not true. It may just be that that company is not what you need to be working under. So maybe you need to get you another one. And of course, you know, the next thing in line is managing your mileage. You're going to have to watch how far you're driving. Watch how much gas you're pumping every month. Watch how much gas you're pumping. I won't say every week, because I hope nobody's pumping every week. But if you are, please watch what you're doing. Watch how far you're going. Watch how much maintenance you're required to put on your car simply because you're doing the job. Pay attention to these things, because it may be just because your route is wrong. It may be because you're not routing your inspections correctly that is making you have to spend so much money as far as putting gas in your car and maintaining it as well. Okay, so now you guys already know you're going to have to be approved by your vendors. That means with all the work that you're doing, they will be approving everything that you turn in. Your photos, don't turn in no blurry photos. Make sure those things are not blurry, okay? Your photos, your paperwork. Make sure you're asking all of the questions that need to be asked. If you don't know a way of finding the answers yourself, make sure that you're doing that. Get this stuff turned in, get it done right the first time. And if you make mistakes, of course, like I said, of course, we all make mistakes. I made several when I first started. I've had to make U-turns and go back to locations several times when I started. And it was irritating the life out of me. And I used to get so mad. And sometimes I would refuse to go back when I knew I was going to have to go back in the end. So always try to learn from your mistake so that you don't make that mistake again. I'm not saying I don't make mistakes now, because sometimes I could be having a bad day. I know it wasn't long ago I walked away from a place. Got home and had all of these inspections I was putting in. And I had walked away and didn't even get the front photo of the building. How did that happen? I've been doing this a long time. And I was searching and looking for that picture, because I just could not fathom the fact that I had left out that picture. I was even trying to say somebody must have erased this photo. It wasn't erased. I was talking and did not take it. So yeah, even I still make mistakes. So you want to try your best to get it done the first time so that you don't have to go back. But now, as far as the vendor check, I ain't turn it in without the photo now, because I don't like for stuff to turn back to me. Do not send anything back. When I send it to you, I don't plan on seeing it again. Y'all get what I'm saying. And through all of this, if you're getting it done and doing it right and getting everything done correct, what you're doing is you're actually building a reputation. You're building a reputation for yourself through your companies. Your companies know that you're going to get the job done. Let's say, for example, me. Might as well, because, I know what I'm talking about. When I do my inspections, I make sure that I have everything that I need to have before it's turned in. I read all of the special instructions. I make sure everything is there. And sometimes I give them a little added extra that they might have not even asked for in the comment section, just in case they may want to ask later. For some of you who have been doing this a while, you take a picture of something and then they'll write a letter later on and ask you something about that picture. Can they see such and such? Does that look like such and such? You know what I mean? So just in case, I'll throw little comments in if I know that this picture is going to bring about questions. That way, they don't ask them. They know I'm going to get the work done. As soon as the files come through and I see them, I have notifications on my phone and on my computer. And if I'm not holding my phone, I'm normally at my computer. So when the notification comes through pertaining to an inspection, I go right in and I call that person right then. I attempt to set up an appointment right then. And I update their profile inside of that company's system right then. They know immediately that as soon as I give Deetra this inspection, if she's anywhere near a computer, she is going to make the move to contact the customer. And as quickly as I contact and I update the file and they see I'm on the move, I don't even have to have actually made a schedule for the appointment. They will constantly load you work. Your work comes in more when you look like you're taking care of business. That's the reputation I intended to build. That's the reputation that I did build. And so now I don't have to worry about not having enough work throughout my months. It's going to get you consistent work. That's pretty much what I'm telling you. You have to earn it. It's not going to be handed to you simply because you signed up. You guys know what to do. See you on the next video.